So Sam Darnold, that is the lightning rod of 49ers quarterback discussions these days. People seem really threatened by him, to be honest, on Twitter. You have Trey Lance, you have Brock Purdy, you have Sam Darnold in the 49ers quarterback room. And for some reason, any single time that you mention, ooh, maybe Sam Darnold has a shot to make some noise to play for the 49ers, there seems to be a lot of pushback. Well, why don't we take a quick look at this?
If you saw, but my co-host here really likes a controversy. Did anybody see what Matt Mayoko had to say about Sam Darnold last week?
You're going to throw me under the bus, huh, Laura?
I'm gonna ad-lib here. It was something like Sam Darnold's the best thrower of the football in 49ers history.
No,
Anybody?
I said in the history of the universe.
Oh yeah, he went up himself. He said something along those lines. What are your first impressions of Sam Darnold and what he looks like?
I mean, I don't think that's a big controversial statement. I mean, Sam is an unbelievable thrower. He was born to do that. I think Jimmy's one of the best throwers on the planet I've ever seen. And the way he can do it, I don't think he gets enough credit for that. And you want guys who are like that, but most guys are in the club in terms of there's only a few people on this planet who can throw at the level that you need to throw at to succeed in this league. And then you have the guys who are usually some higher draft picks or put ahead of them. Sometimes it's for their elite arm ability, sometimes it's for their elite athletic ability. Sam is one of those guys who can throw like that. That's why Jimmy was a second-round draft pick coming from Eastern Illinois, because he was such a gifted thrower. And then it's how do you play after that? And there's so many things that go into that have nothing to do with your ability. Your ability is God is here. Now it has to do with timing, eyes, how you move the pocket, how you can react, and how do you judge that? They'll say it's a test. They'll say, like, I've had guys with highest IQ ever who can't play. I've had guys with low IQs who really can play. There is no absolute in anything. You have to have the skill set to be at this level. But then it's how do you play football? What makes you move the chains? And everybody's a little bit different, and all you can ask for as a coach is guys who are in the club. And when you get a guy like Sam in the situation we got him, I mean, I truly see Sam talent-wise as a top pick in the draft, just like he was. And you watch his whole career, and there's no reason to think differently. He hasn't been in the best situations and stuff, so that's why I'm glad to have him here, and I'm so glad that he wanted to come here. He could have gone to a lot of other situations and probably made a lot more money because Sam is at that level. But he wanted to be in this situation, and that's so good for us because we still are trying to figure out what is going to be our health situation when it's said and done. And I do believe we have three quarterbacks talent-wise who are all capable of being franchise-type quarterbacks, but that's just capable. There's so much more else to it. There's a lot of guys who have been capable. It's how do you play and how do you win games, and Brock's done that in his 8. And we have 2 other guys on our roster who we strongly believe can do it also.
First things first, we'll put this up on the screen. The 49ers clearly believe they can work with Sam Darnold. The ship of, the 49ers only think that this is some kind of off-season body, a backup that they're going to cut, that sailed a long time ago. Based on that 3-minute answer from Kyle Shanahan, he does think that Sam Darnold is an elite thrower of the football. And guess what? Kyle Shanahan is right. Here's evidence. This is Sam Darnold against the 49ers in 2020. This is an insane throw. Rolling away from his target, flipping back across his body, and finding Braxton Berrios for the touchdown. One more time, Sam Darnold and arm talent. The two can be synonymous. There is elite arm talent here. Now, that doesn't mean that Sam Darnold is an elite quarterback. You're going to have another example here of Sam Darnold scrambling, using his physical ability. He can move and throwing. Again, it looks like Braxton Berrios for the touchdown. He really liked finding Braxton Berrios back when he was with the New York Jets. But, the efficiency numbers, wow, this is the Darnold to Berrios show. And here's Darnold running, trucking a guy on the Cleveland Browns. The efficiency numbers showed with the Jets that Darnold wasn't a good quarterback. He didn't perform at the level that you saw in that tape consistently enough to move the needle in a way that would say, oh, Sam Darnold, this guy's at the top of the league. No, he was near the bottom of the league. He threw too many picks. That shows you that being an elite thrower of the football is a different thing than just arm talent. Now, the Venn diagram does cross over. The goal is to leverage physical talent and turn it into efficient quarterback play. And Kyle Shanahan believes that Sam Darnold did not have an opportunity to fairly do that on bad teams in the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers. Now, I do have to say that Sam Darnold's best football of his career did come to close last season. Take a look at this. This is Sam Darnold efficiency numbers over his 5 years in the National Football League. 2018 with the Jets, 21 and 22, or with the Carolina Panthers. He came over in that trade in 2021. Blue represents the best mark of Darnold's career. Adjusted net yards per attempt over here on the right. That's going to combine everything. Interceptions. It's going to combine yards per attempt, touchdown passes as well. The numbers were really poor for 4 seasons. 5.2, 5.5. That's not good. 4.2 is even worse. 4.4 bad with Carolina. But anything over 7 adjusted net yards per attempt is really good. And an interception rate under 2.7%. You can see Darnold here at 2.1%. That's also really good. Now, it was only a 6-game sample. The last game wasn't very good either. The final game of the season against the Saints for Sam Darnold. But, I mean, you could say over those 5 games, you're like, whoa, 49ers saw something that they can work with. Now, they also saw something that they could work with in the tape. They saw it firsthand here. This was in garbage time of the game in 2020. I mean, this is spectacular. The question is, can Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers offense turn that into something that you see more often with Sam Darnold? Well, they clearly believe they can work with him. And believing they can work with him on an incentive basis does not mean that they're naming in the starting quarterback right now. Why people are so threatened by this, I'll never understand. But some of the Trey Lance talk just gets weird. If Lance is better than Darnold, he will have a very fair chance to show it this offseason. If anything, human nature will dictate that the 49ers want Lance to be better because they've invested so much more in Lance than in Darnold. That being said, the 49ers, I think, are very good at avoiding sunk cost fallacy. They realize that the investment in Trey Lance happened in 2021. It's now 2023. Giving Trey Lance opportunities that he doesn't deserve just for the sake of opportunities doesn't make any sense. It only further hurts the 49ers. You're only pouring more into a cost that you've already paid for. You've already paid the first round picks and the salary cap space to pay Trey Lance. It's a guaranteed contract. So they shouldn't just keep on giving Trey Lance opportunities if he doesn't deserve them. If he does deserve them, and that's up to Trey Lance, if he shows that he deserves them, he'll get those opportunities this offseason. He'll be higher than Darnold on that pecking order, and he'll have a chance to even fend off maybe Brock Purdy when he comes back. But Darnold is also entitled to a fair shot at this job. And you heard what Kyle Shanahan thinks of Sam Darnold. He definitely isn't relegated to some automatic backup role. Darnold, just like Trey Lance, was a number 3 overall pick. That was in 2018. Lance was in 2021. You only pick a quarterback number 3. I don't care which team you are. You only pick him at number 3 if there is considerable physical talent. Both Lance and Darnold have arm talent. They can both move. And now Kyle Shanahan, who's wanted Darnold for a long time, fittingly, he wanted Sam Darnold, was at least very interested in him in 2021 before they made the trade to go and get Trey Lance. Now he has them both on the roster. 2 number 3 overall picks on the 49ers roster, along with the last overall pick of the draft, Brock Purdy. Ironically, Purdy is higher up in the pecking order right now. Shanahan and the 49ers staff has said that because he's done more positive stuff in the league. But Darnold and Lance, while Purdy is out hurt this offseason, are going to have a chance to show what they can do to the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. So, absolutely, Darnold has a chance to be the 49ers quarterback this year. That chance is magnified by the fact that 49ers have injury problems at quarterback on a seemingly annual basis. So Purdy, who's currently out right now with an injury, Lance, who has been hurt throughout most of his first 2 years with the 49ers, if either of those two guys cannot stay healthy, Sam Darnold is the de facto number 3. In fact, I'll predict right now that the 49ers carry 3 quarterbacks on their 53-man roster. That's a prediction I made back in the NFC Championship debacle at Philadelphia last year when the 49ers had all those injuries. Anything else beyond that, it's anybody's guess. And here's the truth of the matter. The fact that Shanahan is excited about 3 of his quarterbacks because he's excited about Trey Lance too. He's excited about Brock Purdy as well. The fact that he's excited about all three is incompatible with the rules of social media, which demand full allegiance to one and only one quarterback. Well, guess what? The 49ers don't have allegiance to only one quarterback, nor should they. None of these three guys has proven himself enough to be, oh my God, he's the starter. Let's go. Even with Brock Purdy, who was damn good over that 8-game stretch in 2022, the 49ers are saying, well, let's wait and see. He's shown us that he can be a franchise type quarterback, but we need to see a little bit more. We need to see him come back from the elbow injury. Sam Darnold, he has the physical skill set to be a franchise type quarterback, but he's got to throw fewer picks. I mean, you go back to this. Look at that interception rate in those first 4 years, way too high, above 3%, right? He got it down to 2.1%, but over a smaller sample. So Sam Darnold has to show that he can take care of the football from both a pick standpoint and a fumble standpoint. And Trey Lance, well, he's got to show that he can play. I mean, Trey Lance has barely played, and he's been inefficient when he has played. There was some promise early last year in week 2 before he got hurt against the Seahawks. The 49ers were running the crap out of the football. Some of the, read option stuff that they were doing with Trey Lance combined with what they think his arm talent can become. They've got to get those mechanics in order. They think those mechanics have improved. There's potential there with Trey Lance, but he still has to show that he can do it. So nobody, not Brock Purdy, not Sam Darnold, not Trey Lance, none of these guys is entitled to some kind of de facto QB1 spot. The most that we've heard from this staff is that Brock Purdy is the leader in the clubhouse. He's the favorite, but that's it. They haven't said anything else. Other than that, they like the potential of all three quarterbacks, and that's where it stands right now. So Sam Darnold, you look at him, best football came last year. Don't forget that. I think that's an important data point as he tries to prove himself for the 49ers this year. And Shanahan does agree that he's an elite thrower of the football. That Mike Mayoko comment got way, way misconstrued. Elite thrower of the football means that he can deliver on any given play something like this. But that doesn't mean that he's doing it on a consistent basis. And he's going to have to do this on a consistent basis to be the 49ers top quarterback. He's going to have to start lowering the interception rate over a stretch that's longer than 6 games. You're going to have to start, showing the efficiency that a good quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo in the past has been a good quarterback for the 49ers. Purdy over those 8 games. That kind of efficiency is going to dictate who the 49ers go with at the quarterback position. And for Darnold, it's going to be about continually cutting down those interceptions, cutting down the fumbles, making the right read with the football. Now, I've done a film breakdown on Sam Darnold. You can type that in. You can check it out. It's an all-22 breakdown from his last 6 games in Carolina last year. And this is one thing that Sam Darnold has working in his favor. The Panthers were the number 1 team in the NFL in yards after the catch per reception when Sam Darnold was the quarterback. As you all know, playing quarterback for the 49ers is about facilitating yards after the catch, getting rid of the football on time, hitting guys in stride, setting your playmakers up to do damage downfield, because that's something the 49ers have built their roster to excel at. The 49ers were number 1 all season last year. Carolina, for the 6-game split that Sam Darnold started at the end of the year, Carolina surpassed the 49ers in yards after the catch per reception. They ran some positionless skill position stuff. You saw Laviska Shenault lined up in the backfield. He's a big receiver, so they were doing some Deebo Samuel-like stuff with him. They were mixing and matching formations, and most importantly and most significantly, they were running short passes to set up yak. They were doing what the 49ers like to do, and Darnold did well at this. Again, these numbers are no joke. Over 7 adjusted net yards per attempt for Sam Darnold. He was unquestionably good over those final 6 games, and he was good within the context of how the 49ers might want to run their offense with him. So he is a firm contender in this. So is Trey Lance. So is Brock Purdy. I know that's incompatible with social media. You like one guy and only one guy, but the 49ers are giving themselves option power at the quarterback position. And Darnold, he's going to make as little as $4+ million and as much as $11+ million, depending on incentives. So the 49ers will pay as they go here. With OTAs really ramping up next week, we will see in person just how this battle is shaping up. It's going to be Lance, it's going to be Darnold in the offseason, and then Purdy swooping in late. More options is better than no options at the quarterback position, because last year the 49ers ran out of options at the most important position. So it makes total sense why they brought in Sam Darnold, and it makes total sense that he's got a shot to make this his job in 2023.